Hey, what's up, everybody? Thunderfist 1978 coming at you here on a Saturday evening. Hope everybody's had a great day so far. We're going back to Portable Ops tonight, and I'm trying to think exactly what it was we did last time. I know. Okay, we did one. Oh, right. We got through the bridge. And there was a bunch of other stuff we were looking to do too, like getting a survival knife and a bunch of other stuff. So first thing we're gonna do is check with our intel team and see what reports we have. Actually, our spy team is I think the proper term for it, but we're gonna check in with them and just and see what reports they have. Based on what Snake said he heard from that female soldier, the thing we're looking for is at the harbor. Right now, we still don't have a clue what it is. It could have something to do with Fox's rebellion. In any case, the fact is we need every little bit of intel we can get. Sneak into the harbor and conduct a search as you see fit. Of course, you should still exercise caution and be extra alert for any security. We can't rule out the possibility that this is a trap. I can't tell you how many times I've been sweet-talked by a broad into getting my ass kicked. Alright, let's see here. So the patrol base. Okay, we wanna get that. We wanna get the captive. Unflagged cargo ship. And there's an M63 light machine gun. All right, first things first. Okay, good. According to this report, there's a soldier being held prisoner out there that'll make a good target for recruitment. Stage a rescue effort, and I'm sure he'll join our ranks. Every new recruit you can find helps. Go save the guy. He probably won't take any convincing. Thing is, I don't remember seeing a cell. Then again, it's been a while since I've even been at the base. Find the captured soldier and rescue him. His location is marked with a prisoner icon on the map screen. Good hunting. Huh? Okay. First floor basement, so he's underground. Huh?
Huh? Huh? HQ.
This is HQ.
This is Patrol. The enemy is attacking from an unknown position.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Great. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anytime those colors... Oh, crap.
HQ,
This is HQ.
just my imagination. This is Patrol. All clear.
Understood. Return to your position.
What happened?
Why? That's annoying. He wasn't even supposed to be going that way. He was supposed to stop once he got to where I was. That's all right. I'm just gonna have to be more careful with my shots next time. And then beyond that, I'm not really sure what to do as far as getting to the prisoner. Because I can't carry him while going up a ladder. So we'll have to look for an incline. Unless maybe we just like cut the guy loose or something, and then he runs up on his own. That seems possible. Okay, at least the truck's really close to where we are.
Just my imagination. What happened? What happened?
All right, Salamander. You go get those guys. It really doesn't look like there's many guards here. There's probably at least 2 more. But that may be all there are. Hey, welcome in, Cloud. How you doing tonight? Getting some more recruits for the unit. I'm doing pretty good. I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with how great everything looks on the Switch 2 screen. So I've played through Yakuza 0 on the PS4, not only does it look great on the Switch 2, it loads a lot faster too. So, you know, that's another something nice. That and being able to take my favorite game of all time on the go. With extra features, I might add. Which I haven't really gotten into the extra features yet, but I know there are some. All right, let's get Snake back. Well, you won't be disappointed if you get one. It's I mean, yeah, it is kind of pricey, but you know, this people have been comparing it a lot to
What was that?
people have been comparing it a lot to the Steam Deck. The Switch 2 actually has a larger screen than the Steam Deck does. I mean, yeah, it's got like half the storage, but you know, you can't really have it all.
My imagination.
All right, go to sleep. That is indeed very well played. All right, we need to find a spot where we can hide. What about here? Okay, good. All right, let's get Salamander out there. Yeah, same. This is my first time playing it in like almost 20 years. I first played through it when it first came out. Really haven't played through it since. Uh-oh. Okay, we don't want to go in there. Is that our truck? If so, that was a very short trip. See, now, what I don't understand is why Konami re-released Peace Walker, but not Portable Ops. Because Portable Ops actually does have a story. Like it has a spot in the storyline. And you would think that if that's the case, they would go ahead and give it a re-release like they've done for all the other games. Like I said, even Peace Walker got a re-release, but not this one. Okay, wait. Okay, chaff. No, standard frag grenades.
What was that?
Yeah, the acid games are cool too, but those really don't have any kind of a story. So if Konami decided not to re-release those, I could forgive that. But it makes far less sense with a game like Portable Ops that actually does have a place in the story. Uh-oh. Acid does have a story? I didn't realize that. But I could see it not being canon. I think Portable Ops actually is canon, though. There's a pretty uh-oh. Well, I don't guess I should worry too much because I'm controlling a soldier. But yeah, this is the first time hearing of the Acid games being canon. I've never played them, but I do have both. Matter of fact, I went into the GameStop where I picked up the Switch 2 this weekend, years ago, and they gave me some artwork that was supposed to be a promo item for Acid, even though I hadn't pre-ordered it. And I said, are you sure I can have this? And they said, oh, don't worry about it. The person who pre-ordered this isn't coming for it. Which, you know, I've had a few people at some GameStops who have been really good to me like that, and I'm always grateful whenever they think of me like that.
Huh? What was that?
All right. Let's see where this guy comes from. I think he's going to come from... Huh? What? I thought there was someone else in the building. Is there not? I could have sworn I saw 2 guards in here. No, I guess they're both upstairs. Oh, one of them's got... I bet the prisoner is one of the ones I'm seeing. And we know the prisoner's down. Oh, crap. And what the hell are you doing down here? Okay, now I gotta... I'm gonna go ahead and quit the game here. I was not expecting a guard to be there. I mean, I guess it would make sense that one would be there guarding a prisoner, but still. So we know there's one like up on the roof. And we know there's one underground. Or is there even one on the roof? You know, one of them may be the prisoner, and the other one may just be that guard that's guarding the prisoner. Either way, I got to figure out some way to deal with him. Preferably by non-lethal means. Because I play this like most other Metal Gear games, where I try not to kill anyone. In the first Metal Gear Solid, you can't get around that. There are some situations where some people are just going to be offed. But most of the other ones, you can get through on completely pacifist runs. Okay, yeah, we've already heard him say that already. So at least now we know where that at least now we know where that soldier is. I got a hunch. I am very, very, very tempted Well, it's too late now. What I was gonna do was arm myself with magazines if I had any, and maybe set them out for that one guy and see if they couldn't get his attention. But too late to do that. All right. So we know there's one in the building. We know there's two out here. And there's...
Just my imagination. What happened? HQ.
This is HQ.
This is Patrol. The enemy is attacking from an unknown position.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, crap.
What happened? Huh? What happened? Who's that?
Who spotted me? Who the heck spotted me? Good one. Oh, Lord. You know, I read a Chuck Norris joke last night that had me like just laughing out loud. Too bad we don't have that. We don't have that URL where we can use that command anymore. Those were fun, but this one said Chuck Norris was caught shoplifting once. It took 15 officers to convince him to put the shop down. I literally laughed out loud when I read that one. I've heard jokes of that nature too. Oh, jeez. You know, I've heard Chuck Norris actually finds some of those amusing, and he said his biggest hope is that it would lead people to look into some things that he wrote, like his philosophies on martial arts. Oh, he is. He's very down to earth. That's the one thing I remember from meeting Chuck. He carried himself like he was just a regular guy that everyone at the con happened to know. But he really didn't seem to have any trace of an ego, which was really, really nice to see. Oh, wow. I could swear I shot that guy second.
Nothing here.
What do you mean, what the?
Nothing here. What happened?
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Finally. All right, Salamander. Get on it. And I almost said Camelot 331's famous line. Although I think he stopped saying the line that I'm referring to. Camelot 331 is a YouTuber, and he talks a lot about he's done a lot of videos on GameStop because he used to work there. But he used to end his videos by saying, "Make sure you get on it, doggone it." I almost said that just a second ago, and then I thought, well, maybe I should leave that to him. But I went ahead and said it anyway. So this looks like this is going to be tricky, like trying to get all the enemies out and rescuing the prisoner at the same time. I'm guessing that okay, I'm guessing that that guy right down where the prisoner is must be the one that's got the key to the cell. But I'll have to trank him before I can get it, or else knock him out, which that would be risky. Okay, so we know there's grenades here. We know there's a guard in this building over here.
What was that?
Should be able to hit him from here. Will you go to sleep? And we know there's a guy over in this direction. No place to hide. What about here? All right, Salamander, go.
Just my imagination.
Maybe that's a case where I need to use a soldier instead of Snake. If only I had another Mark 22, that would be awesome. But I bet that's the way to go. Because the other soldiers really aren't going to raise any eyebrows if they go down there. Now, if they do this or drag the other soldiers around, that's that's different. But I feel like using another soldier is what I'm supposed to do. And if that's the case, I think I'm going to use Cobra. All right, Salamander. No. All right. So we've got 2 more items to be found on this floor. Oh, nice. You got an M16 there. Rations. And there's something up top too. But I'm gonna send Snake up there just in case there's a guard up here. No, there's no one up here. But where's the item? There it is. Okay, med kit. Cobra. This is all you. The only thing I don't know, I forget what his combat rating is. Yep. He does have the key. But I blew it. Now we know what we're dealing with, though. You know, before I take on this mission this time, I'm gonna actually have a look at Snake's equipment. And just see if I have any dirty magazines. Because if I do, that's really going to help to deal with that guard. All right. Nope. Good, we have stun grenades. Actually, that really sucks, though, that we don't have, a magazine. Too bad we couldn't peek around the corner and just, like, point the gun over and... That would be so helpful if we could do that. I know I would totally be doing that if I was the one doing the mission. So we definitely want the M16. We definitely want the grenades. And I want everything else too. But those are like the big items. Especially that M16. Because I don't think we have that yet.
What happened? What happened? Huh? What happened? HQ.
This is HQ. What happened? There's something wrong. Backup unit, check it out.
Oh, crap.
Who's that?
How?
The enemy's here!
How do they get stationed right on top of you? Well, now that I think about it, that is where the gate is, and of course they're going to come from the gate. How did I not realize that until now? Jeez. Still, this area is annoying. I've more than had my fill of it. But yeah, if we can get a headshot on that one guard and just like put him to sleep, then we can shake him down, get the key. I don't know if we can get rid of that other guard or not. The one that's near the cell. Because I didn't see an area where we could, like, drag him up. So we probably can't take him with us. Can't win them all, I guess. That's just like that one guard I tried to get off a tower in another area. I tried everything I could think of. And he was still stuck at the top of the tower. So, had to leave him behind. You know, if I can trank that other guard, when he's around the crates, The other guard may actually not see him when he gets put to sleep. That'll make things easier on us. I know I didn't explain that very well, but that one guard that came around the crates like nearest to where I am here. I'll show you what I'm talking about when we actually get started. That guy right there. I'm thinking now that I tranked him there, this other guard may not spot him when he goes to sleep. So that'll make things easier for us. What about this guy? Where's he?
What was that?
What do you mean no place to hide? At least I did trank him. So eventually he's going to go to sleep. Oh, good. We can get all three of them in the truck. Boom, boom, boom. And then that last guy won't be hard at all to deal with. Just knock on a wall, get him to come out. And then when he does... What do you mean, what the...
Nothing here.
Where even was that guy? I could have sworn we put all these guards to sleep. That makes me nervous. Where is he?
Huh? What was that?
Now you're gonna wish you'd left well enough alone. See, I think I should be able to... Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, Salamander, get him. I wonder how many cardboard boxes they even have on that truck. They said they've got plenty of them, but never specified just how many there are. But they always seem to have enough for everybody, and even though they're always busting out of the boxes, there's never a shortage. All right.
What was that?
Oh, you'll find out. But by the time you do, you're gonna be in custody. 16. All right. I'm going to let one of the other soldiers get that. Go, Salamander. I want you to get this ration. Get the med kits upstairs. And then you can bring that other guard in. One thing about it, I'm definitely not going to be hurting for personnel. Because if possible, I try to bring everyone in. Okay, Salamander. After this, you get the rest of the mission off. I'm just a little nervous trying to use a flashbang because you know, what if it triggers an alert? I feel like the odds of that are actually pretty high. Oh. Oh. Nice. Okay, I can't hold anymore. Finally. Nice work rescuing that soldier. Now bring him back to the truck. Spetsnaz knife. Okay, Whale Shark has joined the team. Okay, so he's good for the spy unit. Wait, where's the harbor? Okay, there's the harbor. Okay, what are you good at? Increased efficiency and soldier. You know, I think I'm going to put him in medical. Because at least he's got a B rank in medical. And it does say put him anywhere. Okay. So we got a couple that are good for spy unit. This guy might be good for medical. And the others I'm probably going to cut loose when they get out. Now let's see how long it takes for everyone's stamina to come back. That was quick. Let's save, because I'm not going through that again, and that's the bottom line. All right, so our other reports. Unflagged cargo ship. Whatever that's supposed to mean. And there's an M63. She said you'll find what you're looking for there. Looks like we'll find out what she was hinting at soon. Get that intel. Your mission is to investigate the harbor, based on the lead Elisa provided. And guys, next time one of you tries to get a young chick to spill juicy info, make sure you get the damn specifics. Conduct a thorough search of the harbor. Campbell out. That's funny. All right, what do we got here? So there's 3 items. 3 more topside. None in the basement. All right.
What the? Huh? What was that?
Salamander. Get that guy. Uh-oh.
What the? Huh? What was that? Who's that? Oh!
Why did he have to be so nearby? Why? So we're gonna have to get rid of that guy before we can take the other one. Or we're at least gonna have to put him to sleep. And hopefully one of the items Hopefully one of the items that that we're supposed to get is on the ship. I'm hoping that will clear out that piece of intel. He said it's an unflagged ship. And like it just rolled up into the harbor. Yeah. You know, at first I was thinking, why the heck are there so many guards here when we did the diversions? But I forgot that was for the rail bridge, not the harbor. You know what I need to do? I need to look at my inventory and see if I have any more Mark 22s. If I do, I need to make sure as many people in my sneaking unit have one on them, so they can more effectively deal with the soldiers.
What was that? Just my imagination.
Wait for it.
Just my imagination.
Now I know I shot him.
What happened? Huh? What was that?
All right. Go, salamander. Such a satisfying sound. But at least now we know that other guard's likely to wake him up.
What happened?
As I predicted. Go, Snake.
Just my imagination.
Okay, nobody in there.
What the? Huh? What was that?
It got him.
Huh? What was that? What happened?
Oh, dear Lord. I can't tell which direction he just went.
What the? Huh?
Uh-oh.
What was that? What happened?
Great. Okay. That may have been everybody. Because if you notice, nobody's making any further noise. All right, Salamander, get them all in. Man, I'm glad we finally put all those goons to sleep. Because that was getting very annoying. I wish they'd get another star. Hopefully they're not as built up as they can ever get. But I'm starting to think they may be. All right. Let's take a look at our info for items. Finally. All right, let's go topside. Okay, there's one. Wait. Did we get the M63 on top of that? Or was that just ammo? That's the thing. I didn't see the size of the box. Okay, we got the M63. What is that? All right. Let's send Jonathan out. Oh. He's literally right next to one of the items. Maybe he's got to crawl underneath to get it. Okay, there's nothing in B4, and B1, excuse me. At least not as far as items we can collect. Let's see, maybe there's a ladder over here. No, wait, there was a stairway. Careful, Jonathan. We don't want to... What is that? It's TNT. Watch it explode. So now we get to explore the ship. Hopefully that'll fulfill the other... Oh, there's 2 points of entry. Okay. So we can only enter one way. Thank goodness there don't seem to be any guards actually on the ship itself. Okay, let's go topside. I bet whatever it is we're looking for is in the underbelly of the ship. Okay, that'll be tricky to reach, but not impossible. We're just gonna have to do a roll and just time it just right. Now we've got a cardboard box we can actually hide in like just normal. Where we don't have to bust out of it. All right, Jonathan. Go to the lower deck. See what you find down there.
Freeze! Yankee dog. Keep your filthy paws off my collection.
Well, if it isn't Colonel Skaronsky. I'd heard you were on the run, but to think a base commander such as yourself would be caught hiding in a place like this.
Shut up! You think you scoundrels can just do as you please on my base? As soon as my reinforcements arrive from Russia, we will crush you like the vermin you are. We will teach you whose base this really is. The same goes for that bastard Gene as well.
Pathetic. Is it hard, being an officer that is, when no one follows your orders?
Silence!
All right, what's the deal with him?
What are you? You're a monster.
You try to kill a man, then call him monster? Such crude behavior.
Damn it. My arm!
I'd heard an intruder was lurking about here. And here I find I've come all this way for nothing. I'd been hoping to see the face of an old friend. Wasn't I? Snake? My raison d'etre? You're not worth killing. But I can't have you wandering around like
gotta fight him, I guess.
That should hold you.
How dare you put me in a cage like a cow?
Be quiet. The lock should melt sometime before you starve to death. Best to save your strength.
Ah!
Python, you're alive.
Python?
Who's there? Have you come back to kill me, Yankee dog? Guards, to my side! Eliminate the intruder! This is a direct order from Colonel Skaronsky! You're not the same man as before. Do not worry. My orders fall upon deaf ears anyway. 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks since that whelp Jean arrived here. And in those 4 weeks, everything has changed.
Aren't there any soldiers still loyal to you?
You must be joking. Wouldn't you like to know how in just 4 weeks, that man was able to bring the entire peninsula under his control?
He announced he was building a mercenary nation, right? A country of soldiers.
Ha! A mercenary nation? Preposterous! This Piper has them all dancing to his tune. But I won't be fooled. His methods are simpler. His tools lie deep in the hearts of all men. Greed, and that which lays beneath it. Fear. He simply reaches beyond the impenetrable wall that guards men's hearts, and then strikes! Strikes at their most vulnerable point. Fear. Yes, fear.
Fear?
Compared with the fear that man brought with him, that puny weapon you carry is harmless. You have no idea. No idea how terrible that man truly is.
Fear, huh? Lavochkin, LA-5. What's a World War II fighter doing here?
It's a part of my collection. Once the king of Russian fighters, it could hold its own against the Focke-Wulf and the Messerschmitt.
Were you a fighter pilot?
Indeed I was. Yes, a fighter. If only I had a MiG. Or a Sukhoi. I would riddle Jean's body with holes this very day. Somebody! Anybody! Bring me a plane! A plane!
This poor guy. Too bad we couldn't take him with us. I was hoping we could. What a weirdo. Well, forget about Skaronsky. Let's continue the search. Somehow, I don't think that drunk was the thing Elisa wanted us to find. Now, you're probably right. What? More guards. What? No, 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 no. That's dirty. That is dirty. They don't get to spawn more guards like that. Oh, you didn't like those cutscenes too much? I get it. They're not for everybody. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to have Snake go down there. He can deal with the guards a little better. My gosh. But then, like I said, I'm going to make sure everybody, all right, we'll leave the light on for you till you get back. All right. Nope. No other Mark 22s. Snake's got the only one. I'm gonna have my other guards get the items. That way, Snake has all his slots free.
What was that?
Great.
What was that? What the? Huh? What was that? What the? The enemy's here! HQ.
This is HQ.
What was that? This is Patrol. The enemy is attacking from an unknown position.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
Who's that?
No! My gosh! Game ought to be ashamed of itself. Okay. But slowly but surely, we're learning what we need to do. I don't think we get actual... No, wait a minute. If I can get topside, I can fire down on those enemy soldiers. And it would make it really hard for them to see where I'm firing from. That's what I'm going to do. We'll put those first two guys to sleep. The one closer to where we are and the one on that middle platform. And then we'll go topside and get the two on the side closest to where the entry to the ship is. At least they weren't sending any reinforcements. Because HQ just said, keep your eyes open.
that?
Okay, good. We got him pretty far
What was that?
away from his patrol spot. And that guy's gonna come over to where I just was. Good. We'll get that since it's right where we are. All right.
Just my imagination.
Uh-oh. I guess he's too far away to hit from there. It's all right.
What the? Who's that?
No! My gosh! That is so unfair that you can't hit that guy from, you can't hit that guy from top side, but the other dude you can. But in the end, I am going to save a lot of trank rounds out of that, so not a total loss, but still it's annoying. But still, I thought once you hit a cutscene, then everything was gonna stop, and then it would go to the next mission. got him.
What was that?
Good.
What happened?
Uh-oh.
What was that? What happened? Who's that?
What? Priorities, dude! You were supposed to go after the other soldier! Gosh! When enemies don't behave the way you expect them to. Welcome to my life, which is not allowed to be easy. I honestly got a little worried when that PSP screen showed for that long. I was afraid maybe it locked up, or froze up, I should say, but looks like it didn't. All right, Campbell.
Just my imagination. What was that?
Okay, good. Got him. That just leaves one more. No place to hide here.
Just my imagination.
Go, Salamander. Now getting these guards back to the truck is going to be easy. Oh. Okay, good. That's the M63. All right, let's get Jonathan on this. All right, good stuff. I'm already ready for this level to be over, too. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Okay, there's claymores. Wow. Nice athleticism, Johnny. Well, Jonathan, but... It really sucks that there's only one Mark 22. This would be so much easier if everyone could get one. All right, Jonathan. You're good for the rest of the mission. One more item. And it's on the upper deck of the ship. There. Now we're more ready.
Freeze! Yankee dog. Keep your filthy paws off my collection.
Well, if it isn't Colonel Skaronsky. I'd heard you were on the run, but to think a base commander such as yourself would be caught hiding in a place like this.
Shut up! You think you scoundrels can just do as you please in my base? As soon as my reinforcements arrive from Russia, we will crush you like the vermin you are. We will teach you whose base this really is. The same goes for that bastard Gene as well.
Pathetic. Is it hard, being an officer that is, when no one follows your orders?
Silence! What are you? You're a monster!
You try to kill a man, and call him monster? Such crude behavior.
Damn it! My arm!
I'd heard an intruder was lurking about here, and here I find I've come all this way for nothing. I'd been hoping to see the face of an old friend, wasn't I? Snake? My raison d'etre? You're not worth killing. But I can't have you wandering around like this. There. That should hold you.
How dare you put me in a cage like a cow?
Be quiet. The lock should melt sometime before you starve to death. Best to save your strength.
Python, you're alive.
Oh, Nullus Python.
Who's there? Have you come back to kill me, Yankee dog? Guards, to my side! Eliminate the intruder! This is a direct order from Colonel Skaronsky! You're not the same man as before. Do not worry. My orders fall upon deaf ears anyway. 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks since that whelp Gene arrived here. And in those 4 weeks, everything has changed.
Aren't there any soldiers still loyal to you?
You must be joking. Wouldn't you like to know how in just 4 weeks, that man was able to bring the entire peninsula under his control?
He announced he was building a mercenary nation, right? A country of soldiers.
Ha! A mercenary nation? Preposterous! This Piper has them all dancing to his tune. But I won't be fooled. His methods are simpler. His tools lie deep in the hearts of all men. Greed, and that which lays beneath it. Fear. He simply reaches beyond the impenetrable wall that guards men's hearts, and then strikes! strikes at their most vulnerable point. Fear. Yes, fear.
Fear?
Compared with the fear that man brought with him, that puny weapon you carry is harmless. You have no idea. No idea how terrible that man truly is.
Fear, huh? Lavochkin, LA-5. What's a World War II fighter doing here?
It's a part of my collection. Once the king of Russian fighters, it could hold its own against the Focke-Wulf and the Messerschmitt.
Were you a fighter pilot?
Indeed I was. Yes, a fighter. If only I had a MiG. Or a Sukhoi. I would riddle Gene's body with holes this very day. Somebody! Anybody! Bring me a plane! A plane!
Poor guy. Snake's like, the least I can do is break this lock, but you're on your own from here. Gotta admit, I'm nervous. Uh-oh. So are they all topside? That's strange. That crate looks a bit out of place. It's labeled Made in USA. That's gotta be it. This is what she wanted me to find. So all Jonathan had to do was go over this way. This is Snake. I found the crate they were keeping the prototype weapon in. How can you be so sure? It reads Made in USA on the crate. They must have disguised it to make it look like it's headed for Vietnam. Interesting. So what's the problem? I just checked some of the crates and they're empty. The contents must have already been shipped out of the harbor. What? Are you saying this was all a wild goose chase? Looks that way, but there's one other thing that caught my attention. What, it's got the Babe of the Month centerfold taped to it? No, this isn't your bedroom we're talking about. They left a bunch of spare parts behind. Heat rounds for a recoilless cannon. Square barrels for an M1919. And bulletproof armor close to 5 inches thick. Whoa, Snake. Those sound like parts for a tank or an armored vehicle. There's got to be some mistake. The new weapon the U.S. was developing was supposed to be able to hit every major city in Russia, right? It's got to be something along the lines of a ballistic missile or an aircraft. I know that. But by the looks of the crate, it was definitely a land-based weapon. I'm sure of it. Something doesn't add up here. We might be overlooking something important. I'll see what else I can find here. All right. Be careful, Snake. Camel? Who is this? Oh, I'm sorry. I just heard a familiar voice and thought I'd say hello. I can't thank you enough for taking care of Volgin. Volgin? In Groznygrad? Yes. So you do remember. Who are you? Sorry, I can't reveal my real name just yet. For now, you can call me Prividiani. Prividiani. Ghost. Call me whatever you please. After all, a name is nothing more than a decoration. But more to the point, I was listening in on your conversation just now. You seem to have quite an interest in the prototype weapon. You know something about it? Do you remember the Shagohod? That monster that Volgin built? That monster that Sokolov built? It was a nuclear-armed tank that could fire a nuclear missile from the ground. Then you mean? At last you're beginning to catch on. So the prototype weapon that Gene stole is a nuclear tank? But the Shagohod was only capable of firing a single intermediate range missile. It couldn't possibly hit every major city in Russia. You're right. The old Shagohod could never do that. But America has already developed a working MIRV. Multiple independently targeted re-entry vehicles. A single ballistic missile that carries multiple nuclear warheads, each capable of striking a different target. That would let it hit multiple cities at once. Precisely. But MIRVs do have their weak points. Low accuracy, the cost of deployment, and the inability to control them once they've been launched. The prototype that Gene stole is a nuclear tank developed by America to make up for these shortcomings. A new type of nuclear tank. The new design travels along a ballistic trajectory that allows it to infiltrate the territory of any country in the world. No ABM system would be able to stop it. And as a nuclear launch platform carrying multiple warhead missiles, it can penetrate any type of terrain and neutralize an enemy country all by itself, without requiring any support whatsoever. They're going to strap the Shagohod to an ICBM and launch it into an enemy country? That's possible? It would be impossible for the Shagohod. But what if something were smaller and more mobile? For instance, a walking tank. And what if you used a booster far more powerful than the Shagohods, like the Saturn rocket they used to launch the Apollo lunar module? A walking tank. Of course. At the same time Shagohod was developing at the same time Sokolov was developing the Shagohod, the Granin lab was developing a bipedal walking tank at Groznygrad called Metal Gear. Ghost, are you Granin, the man who designed Metal Gear? No. Granin must be dead. He was killed by Volgin. Granin. That name brings back memories. But go ahead and believe I'm Granin if you like. So Metal Gear is actually a walking nuclear tank equipped with multiple small nuclear warheads? Exactly. However, it's still in the preparation stage. It's not ready to launch yet. What was stolen from America was only the Metal Gear vehicle itself. Gene intends to arm it with the Soviet-made warheads stored on this peninsula. But can it use Soviet warheads? Oh, wait. The blueprints for Metal Gear were originally Soviet-made, too. I'm surprised they were able to smuggle something that size out of America. They had a government official involved. He is said to be dead. But I'm guessing he is at an airport or other likely places, regretting what he has done. All right, I got it. So if I take out the nuclear storage facility on this peninsula, we can prevent Metal Gear from being launched. I'll give you whatever help I can. Even if I am a ghost, it still doesn't feel right to let them launch Metal Gear into the motherland. Okay, I believe you, Ghost. My frequency is 144.78. I'm counting on you to stop Metal Gear. A man called Ghost. Now, I'm not sure if we can really trust this guy yet, but those spare parts Snake found lend his story some credence. For now, we'll just have to take his word as fact. In any event, we know that this new Metal Gear weapon is just a frame. It hasn't been armed with nukes. If we can find the nuclear storage facility and render the nukes unusable, Metal Gear will be nothing but a pile of useless scrap, right? That settles it. Our next mission is to find the nuclear storage facility. Now that we're over the bridge and into the east side of the peninsula, there are a lot of areas we need to reconnoiter. Let's redeploy our spy units and start collecting intel on Metal Gear and the nuclear warheads. As for the sneaking unit, why don't you go get us some more new recruits? By the way, you do know about the medical and technical units? As new recruits come in, try assigning some of them to the medical unit and the technical unit. They'll make your soldiers' wounds heal faster and develop new weapons and items for you. In the meantime, we'll be waiting for word from our spy units. Trust your men to do their job. Oh, nice. Medical unit's really good. Okay, we'll put him in spy unit. Put him in... Wait. No, we need her. Put this guy in the spy unit. I'll see if these guys can go and... No. I may have to let them go. Yeah, I'm gonna let them go. Work has begun on high magnification binoculars for observing distant targets. Spy unit. Okay, good. Sources indicate that there is an... Wait. I thought I got that. Okay, we did get it. Security base. We have reports of the existence of documents containing classified information related to the nuclear storage facility. With these documents, it's believed that we can determine the location of the nuclear storage facility. Snake, we did it! We finally found it! The map to the nuclear storage facility is in the Soviet security base. Go out there and get it for us. Well, first off, I'm saving. So I'm not going through that mess again. All right, let's... Okay, yeah. So security base is next for us. We'll save one more time. All right, let's move. The map to the nuclear storage facility is in the Soviet security base. Hop into the truck. We're heading out. The surest, swiftest way to prevent Gene from launching his nuclear strike is to keep the warheads out of his hands. To do that, we'll first need to discern the location of the nuclear warhead storage facility. That base is the center of the Red Army's security presence here. There's bound to be information in regards to key facilities throughout the peninsula. This is corroborated by intel we've received from our spy units. Conduct a search of the base and look for intel on the location where the warheads are stored. Wait. There are 10 items to find here. Between all our team members, it feels like we have just enough slots to get everything.
Just my imagination.
Uh-oh. Salamander, go! No, stay. Oh.
What happened?
Thought I tranked him too. Should have been a guard over here. That makes me nervous. You know, hearing all those opening and closing doors, that really makes me nervous.
What was that?
Too bad we can't actually see the enemies. Uh-oh.
What? Huh? What was that?
Go, Jonathan. Uh-oh.
Huh?
I guess they must be coming from like top side.
What's that? The enemy's here!
All right. Jonathan, it's all you. That dude looked like he was probably pretty heavily armed too. Question is, how good a fit would he be for the unit that I need? It looks like there's at least 3 more guards. And we gotta have people have enough stamina. Okay, there's one more over here.
What was that?
Okay, where's this guy gonna come from?
Huh? What the?
Oh, crap. Not fair! There's too many guards there! Like, way too many! It's like, how am I supposed to capture all of them and then also get all the items? I'd like to know where all those guards are coming from, too. I kind of feel like they're either coming from, like, underneath or they're coming from top side. I would tend to say top side. Well, at least some of them are, because that other one came through the door instead of up the stairs. I'm gonna hate this mission. I can already tell it. I mean, it is a security base. I guess it would be really strange if it was called that, and there wasn't an abundance of guards.
Just my imagination.
What's that? The enemy's here!
Okay, good. There's another guard around the corner. I gotta be ready to deal with him.
What the?
Uh-oh.
What? Huh? What was that?
My gosh. I'm gonna see if I can get Jonathan to grab a few items. That way, when his stamina gets low, we won't have to worry about him not grabbing enough items so that we can get everything. I know, once again, I didn't word that very well. I'm wanting to say there's only like 3 more guards. I think they're all in that same building. All right. Are there any items in... Yes, there are. No, that's where I need to go. We got stun grenades. Get out of there, Jonathan. All right. We need him to find one more item. Wait. Good. What do you mean, no place to hide? All right, Snake.
What was that?
One by one. We'll just pick the rest of them off as they come. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's not counting the key item at the end. All right. I'm going to send Jonathan out there. I know his stamina isn't the best, but I'll need the other soldiers to each get a few items. And for that, I'll need them to have plenty of stamina to walk around and look for items too. All right. Okay, right about here.
What's that? The enemy's here!
Go, Jonathan. I think there's only one more guard. Once he's dealt with, we can just explore the base at our leisure. I know, Jonathan. You'll be done with this mission after this. I promise. You've been an absolute workhorse. See what he found. So he got med kit, stun grenades, and rations. All right, Jonathan. Take a break. You've earned it, kid. That makes me nervous. Okay, at least he's not up here. I mean, not up at the roof, I mean. If he was, it would be extremely hard to get away without being spotted. I'll figure something out. Wait, what? Okay, that's... Uh-oh. Got him. All right. Cobra, you're up. Thank goodness. Now we'll be able to explore the base at our leisure. Okay. So he is not the one with the shield. So he can carry 3 items. I'm glad those guys don't radio HQ right away if you fire at them and miss. It's like I'm almost at the point that that's what I expect them to do. All right, Cobra. We're going to need you to try to find some items. All right. Whatever's in there, we're not going to be able to get it just yet. Unless maybe we blow the door open with TNT or something, which I don't think any of our guys have TNT right now. Nope. If we find some TNT, I'll try it. Oh, it's a prison. And conveniently, none of the cells are locked. Wait. Of course, that's the one that... Okay, that cell appears to be locked. It's possible someone could have had the key to that cell. All right, let's see. So there's still 2 more items to get. On the first floor that are not behind a locked door. Oh man, this is... I'm getting nervous here. Wait. Let's go the other way. We'll find an item there. And I'm hoping there'll be a hiding place. Because I don't like his stamina right now. Okay, yeah. Yeah, his stamina is getting dangerously low. Ooh! Okay, good. At least he can hide. Salamander. Your turn. Huh? Oh, I'm still first floor territory. Okay, good. unless I get TNT over here, I'm not going to worry about those locked doors. Okay, you hide out there. Snake. It's all you. All right. So we go back to first floor. Let me figure out what building we're supposed to... So is it actually that building? Sure is. And I think I know what I'm supposed to do. We gotta break that window, I think. Thank goodness all the guards are down or are gone. Okay, we don't want that document yet. We got one more item before we pick it up. TNT! Folks, I gotta try it. I gotta try something. This may not do what I think it'll do, but I have to try it. Nope. Specifically needs a key of some sort. And I would assume the same is the case here, but again, I have to try it. Those are some sturdy doors. Probably some of those guards had the keys. If I had just tried to shake it out of them instead of just immediately putting them in the truck. But live and learn, as the saying goes. But we got the document. Mission objectives complete. Return to base. And make sure the enemy doesn't detect you along the way. Oh, don't worry about that. They're all in the truck. We were right. The document you brought back was a map to the nuclear storage facility. In order to stop Gene from using Metal Gear, we have to prevent the nuclear warheads from being transported out of that storage facility. Here's the bad news. We don't know which part to destroy, or how. If we stuck to protocol, we'd first gather some intel and then form a plan of action. But with reports of a transport team arriving to carry out the nukes, time is not a luxury we've got right now. Let's do this by the seat of our pants. Hurry and infiltrate the facility. I know it sounds suicidal, but it's our duty to interrupt. Welcome in, 8 Sage. Thank you for the raid. What were you up to tonight? Oh, nice. I love that raid message. That is awesome. Tears of the Kingdom, nice. Well, thank you for choosing me to raid tonight. Very good to see you, everyone. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, I am Thunderfist 1978. Tonight, moonlighting as Naked Snake. And I'm a variety streamer, and I like going to retro games most of all. But I do play a lot of modern games too. Nick, oh, hold on. I went ahead and permitted that one because I know what you were trying to say. You were just saying my code name. If you want to call him Big Boss, you can call him that too. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Good deal. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and put away that TNT, but I'm going to gather more because I'm assuming we're going to need TNT for this. All right, let's see where these guys can go. Surveyor. Okay, we're going to need somebody for that storage base. So let's go ahead and assign him there. There we go. What about you? Nah, I'll go ahead and discharge him. What about you? Okay, surveyor. You can always use... Oh, almost put him in the tech unit. Wait. Well, thank goodness I had another surveyor, because I want other folks in my spy unit, like, dispatched to different spots. Okay, so we're gonna have to rest at least a couple of days to get that stamina back. All right, what about that report? Sources indicate that all weapons supplied to units stationed at this security base come from a single source, the armory inside the base. We assess that destroying this armory will drastically reduce the combat effectiveness of the enemy units in the security base. Information on construction. Sources indicate that the elevator installed in the nuclear storage facility for transporting nuclear warheads does not run on its own independent power supply, such as fuel cells or an APU. Okay. We're going to take on that security base mission first. One more rest period, and that'll get everybody back to full. And we've got yet another report from the spy team. Mosin Nagant, nice. We definitely want that. But first things first, we're going to take care of that. After we see what our new units can do. Okay, surveyor. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put this guy at the research lab. Okay, no special skills. Good combatant, but I really need folks in my sneaking unit who are good rescuers. That's why I've got the team I've got. All right, let's save. By the way, I am playing on original hardware here. You can't see the picture, but it's got this right here is basically an HDMI converter because the 3001 models were made so that you could hook them up to a TV. And this piece just converts it natively to HDMI. For a long time, I didn't know that there was like an added option on the menu that lets you display everything on a TV. But very cool to find that out. All right, so we're going to... Yeah, I've got that as well. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I actually have a 3DS with a capture card in it, and I've streamed a few games from it. Okay, security base. That's where we need to go. We've received a report from our spy unit dispatched to this location. Be sure to check it out. So we got to bomb the armory. All right, this is a sabotage operation. Make sure you correctly identify the target position. And be careful with that TNT. Good luck. Okay. So there's where we got to plant it. Wait, hold up. Okay. That's not the building I was thinking of, which is actually a good thing. I'm not going to worry quite as much this time about capturing every enemy soldier. But I will try to put a lot of them to sleep just in case somebody's got a key that will open one of those locked doors. Got him. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and bomb the armory and get it over with. Got it. Nice job. All you have to do now is get out of there. Have a safe trip. All right. You are going to our spy unit. Put you at in the town. Wow, we got a lot of surveyors. You know, it's too bad none of these people can tell you straight up where all the enemies are located. It'd be really nice if they could. All right. Let's go ahead and save again. What about our reports from Warhead Storage? I don't know if that's really telling me anything I really need to do. But the Mosin Nagant, we definitely want that. We were right. The document you brought back was a map to the nuclear storage facility. Without the nukes, Metal Gear will be useless. Put those nukes out of commission. Right. As soon as we figure out how to do that. We've confirmed the presence of a transport team. They're here to carry the warheads away. There's no time to waste. Get in there and destroy the machine room supplying power to the elevator. I don't know where the machine room is, but it's got to be full of big, heavy machinery. I can't imagine it to be on the upper floor. Focus your search on the basement. Good luck. Oh no. I forgot to unload my equipment. Okay, at least some of these guys. Wait, what? Okay. So we're on the top floor. Makes sense that we'd start there and then just make our way down. Okay, wait. Was that a scientist? Or was it a guard? Well, that answers that question. Salamander. One to bring up. Man, did I screw up. I'm going to have to bring one of my other troopers over there to find that Mosa Nagant wherever it is. Wonder how many guards are in this facility. Well, we know the answer is one less than there were. It scared me.
Is this where they're storing the nukes? An alarm system is installed, and security is pretty tight.
Uh-oh. And me with no thermal goggles. I've got them, but I didn't think to take them with me. Well.
Just my imagine. What's that? Nothing here.
Okay, that's going to be tricky. I don't know if I'll be able to get her down. I mean, I can try. Nope. Make sure she stays asleep, though. Okay, that's not it. I don't know. I'll see if I can get him down. Yeah. I'm going to see if Salamander can get one or both of those soldiers down. Because I think I saw enough of that alarm system to know where the... yeah. I almost asked if that was all the guards, but no. We see at least one over in that other room. These two look like officers, though. So they'll probably be really useful. Oops. It's a long way to drag them, though. I'm gonna have to make sure when I go to the next mission to take all the equipment that they've gathered, so so nobody's got all their slots taken up. Thank goodness that's a relatively easy configuration of beams. As long as we don't go down the center here, we're good. Of course, who knows how it's going to be as we go further into the base. We only really know for that room how the beams are situated. And Salamander is going to have to sit the rest of the mission out. He is not going to have the stamina to drag anybody else back. But he has certainly done his part. All right, let's see here. So we know what's in that room, and it's nothing we really need. Huh? Okay, up here. Uh-oh. That made me nervous. Huh. All right. Cobra, you're up. I don't think he's picked anything up like in the last few missions. Okay, he's got the body armor. Uh-oh. That was close. I don't know that that would have been Doom, but... Wait, what? More alarms. But still no sign of the nukes. Have you found the machine room yet? The only way to put the freight elevator out of commission is to destroy the machine room that acts as its power source. Make your way to that room, pronto. It should be full of very large, heavy machinery. If I had to guess, I'd say the machine room would probably be in the basement. Go look for it. Yeah, we're going to. But first, I want to make sure we don't have any enemies coming after us. That guy shouldn't look like he stays asleep very long. Because, I mean, he literally just went down while Cobra was making his way over there. But hopefully that guy will be useful in the long run. I'll have to try to determine where we've gathered items and where we still need to look. Long as we get the Mosin Nagant, I'll be happy. And then, of course, we got to make sure none of those beams spot us. Which shouldn't be a problem if we get Snake on the case. All right. Okay, there's one in a there's an item there in the shaft. And there's some on the first floor. No items in the basement, just our objective. And it looks like the duct to get one of the items is does it lead from this room? It shouldn't. No. It's got to be this duct here. What is that? Don't need that. He doesn't even have that weapon. All right. So everything else is on the first floor. Like as far as major items and such. Okay, you stay there. Let Snake get a look around with those thermal goggles. Okay. Cobra. I'm gonna leave that alone. Hold on. Okay, what's down there? Huh? Yeah. Oh, it's... Oh, duh. Jeez. All right. Snake, you're up. Okay, so we know that over there is not something we need. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Oops. Okay, so that's not, that doesn't alert anybody. As long as the guards are dealt with, it doesn't trigger an alert. That's good to know. Wait a minute. Hold up. That other room where there were beams. There might be items there. Okay, wait. Okay, it's tranquilizer ammo. I could use that. What's over here? I bet that's it. No, it's TNT. It's good to know that's there, so in case you forget to take it with you, you still have access to TNT. Okay, there's only one other place where that Mosin Nagant can be. Hopefully one of our other guys has, who has slots. That's it. That's it. All right. Cobra. Book it up. Don't worry about the beams. He should have enough, I would think. Stamina, I mean. Okay. At least he can take that back. I can deposit it. And we got the Mosin Nagant.
Okay, Cobra. Find a spot to hide. I'll take it from here.
It is so comforting to know that it no longer matters whether I get spotted by those beams or not. No, wait, we don't want to go that way. I'm pretty sure that doesn't count as an alert because they're not actually going into alert status. If it did, man, oh man, would I have a ton of alerts on me right now. I guess I'll find out when the game ends if those actually count. Again, I don't see why they would, though. Because it's not actually triggering alert status.
What's the situation look like? I've infiltrated what looks to be a machine room. Seems like I could do something useful here. Any ideas?
A machine room, eh? This is just a hunch, but I'm thinking it could be responsible for supplying most of the power to the facility. It probably provides the power used to run the elevator as well. You may be able to stop the elevator system by sabotaging that machine room. Cutting off the power source should make it impossible to move those nukes. So plant those explosives of yours.
You got it.
inner walls of this storage facility are more fragile than they look. With the way you planted that bomb, the blast would have been far too powerful. You would have ended up cutting off your own escape route. You're so focused on completing the mission that you neglected your own personal safety. Nasty habits are hard to kick. Eh, Snake?
Python, you dismantled the bomb? But you couldn't have had enough time.
Time? I had plenty. All I had to do was flash freeze the detonator, and poof! No more explosion. Sure is hot in here.
Python, so you were alive all this time. What happened to your body?
It has been a while, Snake. How long's it been since our last mission together? Nearly 10 years? We were both so very young back then.
Yeah. When the boss vanished, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you were there to save me. You were one of the few people I could always count on in battle. But I thought you were dead. You were wounded on that top-secret mission in Vietnam.
Yes, I was. At one point, I was within an inch of death. My body lost the ability to regulate its temperature. Left unchecked, it would rise continuously, uncontrollably. Eventually, my body would literally burn itself up. Without this suit and its liquid nitrogen filling, I wouldn't be able to survive more than half a day. But this suit has also made me a superior soldier.
How so? I had to ask.
Look. Look at this stage I control. Not even your famous CQC will work on me.
But Python, why? You're a good man. Why join Gene's rebellion?
It's my salvation, Snake. Do you have any idea why the CIA let me live this long? They're afraid of you, Snake. You're a legend. A hero. You bested the boss. The CIA knows it. So they searched for a soldier strong enough to take you down if you ever betrayed them. They chose me. I'm the anti-Snake. And I'm the one man who can break you! Ever since I came back to Fox, I've been sent to do nothing but wet works, so as to keep my assassin instincts nice and sharp. Can you recall those you've killed in battle, Snake? I do. I have nightmares about them, nearly every night. They won't leave me alone. But I've spilled far too much blood by now to ever make amends. The nightmares end today!
Python, don't!
I've been waiting for this moment. The moment when we could meet each other face to face on the battlefield as enemies. Snake, after I've killed you, my purpose will be fulfilled. Let's go!
I don't think I go immediately into battle, though. Well, maybe I do.
I'm ready now. Show me what you got.
Python hit you with one of his freeze attacks. Your weapon is frozen solid. You've got to unfreeze it pronto. Find a way to thaw your weapon out.
Your weapon's frozen. Better thaw it out.
Jeez, dude.
Thanks. I needed to cool off.
Thank you so much for the follow. We do have anonymous follows here, so So you're at your leisure as far as well, I blew that fight. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here, folks. But man, that's pretty nasty that it expects you to go through all that and then have to do that boss fight. Okay, before I go,
Excellent!
thank you for the Prime sub. I really appreciate the support. Thank you for choosing me to give that support to. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna be working on this game until we finish it, and you know, I was not expecting to have to do that boss fight right away. You know, I mean, it's been a long time since I played this game, but I thought the boss fights were like you finished the mission and then after it was over, you had a chance to heal up. At least now I know that's not the case. And I think I figured out enough about the infrared beams that the next time we go in, I won't have to pick up the thermal goggles. I mean, I've got them anyway, so I won't have to pick them up to add them to my inventory. But I could probably go in with just some medical kits and some rations, and then like I'll make sure Snake's the one that picks up the most in Nagant. Hopefully that'll make the difference when we go into this again. But I will be back tomorrow evening, and I appreciate 8 Saga or 8 Sage once again. I appreciate you rating in, and Scotty, thank you so much for the Prime sub earlier. I really appreciate it. So once again, I do have anonymous follows so that folks who would just rather lurk than take part in the discussion, no pressure whatsoever. You're perfectly at your leisure to do either or. But once again, thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight. And with that being said, let's look for someone to raid on our way out. Okay, here's someone I don't think I've raided into before. I think we're gonna raid into Gary Asher, who is playing Celeste. They are a member of one of the stream teams I belong to, that being the Dragon Clan. They're really big on mental health awareness, and since I'm on the spectrum myself, it's really important to me to be part of a group that does events to support mental health. But once again, folks, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you back tomorrow night when we continue Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. But for now, this is Thunderfist 1978, or Big Boss or Naked Snake, whichever you prefer. Signing off.